deputy and the future press secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre, is in a relationship with CNN reporter Suzanne Malveaux. Of course, the leftist media isn't worried about that. But imagine if the tables were reversed and this was happening in a Republican administration, a Trump administration. Here to react is tonight's company, Turning Point USA contributor and featured author at BizPac Review, Erin Elmore. Good to see you both. Erin, Jay Carney, who was Obama's press secretary, was married to ABC's Claire Shipman, but ABC was very clear at the time that she would not be covering anything related to the administration, and I think it was a very different scenario. So how can this incoming press secretary ensure that there is an impartial relationship with how they deal with CNN as they move into this new setting?
Unfortunately, in this administration, there's nothing that's impartial. And by the way, Karine Jean-Pierre has further problems and bigger problems than her relationship with the woman at CNN. She is also anti-Israel. She praised Democrats for boycotting the pro-Israel AIPIC conference and made some defamatory statements about their relationship with Palestine that they came out and said were untrue. And she made this very publicly in Newsmax. So we often see people of Jewish faith supporting Democrats. I would caution that they start looking into this. And I would also say to pro-Israel and Jewish groups, you should really start, whether it's litigation or some serious action, because there is no impartiality in this administration. And by the way, am I wrong, or does the press secretary of the United States work for the American people? So the American people deserve someone that will be unbiased. And as you said, Sean, if this was a conservative administration, the standards would be far higher and they would be banging their fist on the left and outraged about this complete and utter impropriety and a lack of journalistic integrity.
Steve, it's interesting. I remember the critique that we got from so many of the mainstream media about how many people who had a relationship, especially with Fox, and it wasn't that many. It was a handful at most.
The American people, Erin's right. The press secretary works for the American people. We're the employers, but we're not getting told the truth. We won't get told the truth.
The press release announcing the new press secretary was at the very top in a sort of a quick little thing. It said former White House communications director Anita Dunn would be returning as senior advisor to the president. She's currently at a company called SKD Knickerbocker, right? A consulting firm. She comes in as a special government employee. Why does that matter? It matters because she's never there long enough to fill out the financial disclosure paperwork. So we never know who her clients are, any of her background, any of her potential conflicts of interest. And no one in the media seems to think that this is a big deal. It's literally the antithesis of the revolving door that so many in Washington normally get caught up in.
Yeah, and I've heard that this is actually more common than we would think, especially on the left. And it gives that sort of impropriety. Is government and left-wing business sort of one arm of the same party? Completely, again, unprofessional. But of course, like I said, on the left, there are no standards. That is the fact of the matter. Two different barometers of behavior on the left and on the right. And we should push for these financial disclosures. We should push for who our clients are, because the American people deserve to know the truth and who's really running Washington.
Steve, it's funny. On the heels of the White House Correspondents' Dinner, I couldn't help but looking at the lists and the pictures that were coming out of people posting it. You talk about this cozy relationship, and it really is. I mean, they are all buddies. They've all worked together. They all played together. And I think that's why there's a lack of scrutiny, that they're friends. Yeah. Erin, Steve, stick around. It's Friday. It's the company quiz. We also have a bonus. We got a Trump rally tonight that we're carrying on Newsmax. So get those letters out. All right, millions of Americans celebrated Cinco de Mayo yesterday, but the party is just getting started here on Spicer & Company. It's time for the company quiz. Back to play, Erin Elmore and two-time returning champ Steve Sanchez. Steve Sanchez, I don't want to get you nervous. I know national news story of the week has been this leaked draft of Justice Samuel Alito's opinion, which indicates the Supreme Court has voted to overturn Roe v. Wade. The landmark Roe v. Wade ruling was, of course, made by the High Court in 1973. In a 7-2 vote. The Chief Justice of the Supreme Court at the time was Warren Burger. Which president appointed Burger? A. Dwight Eisenhower, B. John F. Kennedy, B. C. Lyndon Johnson, or D. Richard Nixon? Lawyer in this, Erin.
I know. I don't think it's this, but I'm doing it.
Well, Steve Sanchez on the board early.
Steve.
That's right. It is D. In 1969, Newsmax hosted the debate for the Republican candidates in Pennsylvania. Tonight, of course, we're carrying that Trump rally. We are about to speak to one of the candidates in just a minute, David McCormick. And yesterday, here on the show, we spoke to two of the other ones, Kathy Barnett and Carla Sands. During the debate, Sands took aim at frontrunner Dr. Oz, calling him MAGA in name only. Sands also ripped President Biden on his foreign policy and spoke of her foreign policy experience during the Trump administration. A, Austria, B, Belgium, C, the Czech Republic, or D, Denmark.
Oh, is that D? Yeah.
There you go. Lindsay and Erin tying this thing up. That's right. President Trump
letters, Erin.
in 2017 appointing her to Denmark. That's right. All right, question 3. On Tuesday, we spoke to Senate Minority Whip John Thune. The South Dakota senator said that America is a right-of-center country and that Democrats are trying to govern left of center by trying to shove their radical agenda down our throats. Thune has also been outspoken about President Biden's hostility towards energy companies, saying it's the cause of high gas prices. Well, which of the following means of transportation was invented in Senator Thune's home state of South Dakota? Was it A, hot air balloons, B, snowmobiles, C, skateboards, or D, RVs?
I feel like I know this, but I don't know.
I know, but I don't.
Erin Elmore, did you know that or did you just guess A?
From taking the bar exam, I just kind of know which answer it is sometimes. I don't know.
I thought it was maybe A, but I feel like hot air balloons have been around for a lot longer than that.
Well, we're heading into question 4.
Wow.
All right, I'm sorry.
Job.
Yeah, the
Good job.
hot air balloons, the modern version was created in Sioux Falls, Raven Industries in the 1950s. Yeah. 1, Steve Sanchez falling behind for the first time in a long time. Question 4. This week we spoke to constitutional law expert Alan Dershowitz about the Department of Homeland Security's recent creation of a disinformation governance board. The professor explained how the board is a flat-out attack on free speech. It controls every aspect of citizens' lives. Which of these artists also had a hit album that was also called 1984?
I know this one.
Was it A, Prince, B, Rush, C, Van Halen, or D, Smashing Pumpkins? Erin Elmore's already made it very clear that she knows who it is. Steve Sanchez with the guitars in the background. If you get this one wrong, I'm going to be definitely disappointed. We've got all 3 of you on the board.
It's a miracle.
Yeah, it's a miracle. Lindsay, she always is very clear that her pop culture is a little off. But that album, by the way, sold 10 million copies and had a lot of big songs on it like Jump and Panama. Yeah, we are now heading into question 5. Erin Elmore defending a 1-point lead.
Wow.
2-2. Steve Sanchez
good game.
Putting a 2-week winning streak on the line here. Here we go. Yesterday, as I mentioned earlier, was Cinco de Mayo, which is commonly mistaken for Mexican Independence Day. States where many like to celebrate by drinking margaritas or doing shots of tequila. What plant is tequila made from? A, agave, B, cactus, C, corn, or D, sugarcane?
Sorry, hold on.
We have all 3 of you with A's up there. That means all 3 of you are right. That means Erin Elmore takes over, denying Steve Sanchez of a 3-week winning streak and the coveted Spicer & Company mug. Congratulations, Erin Elmore.
Good job,
this is huge.
Big.
We now have 2 more weeks to see if you can take that cup over. Steve.
Sorry, Steve.
Head back to the craps tables.
You're going to get a mug one of these days.
You'll get. Anyway, Steve, Erin, thank you both very much.
Have a nice weekend. Happy Mother's Day.
You bet. You too.
Yeah, happy Mother's Day,
Happy Mother's Day. That's right. All right, coming up.